Hey guys, welcome back to episode 7 of the Roger and Pace podcast.
7, wow. Awesome.
What are we talking about today, Jay?
RP recommends. You're doing the Pocket app.
Pocket app.
I'm doing the YouVersion Bible. And then we go into the weekly lowdown where we go over the details
Bryant.
of the tragic death of Kobe Bryant.
And that kind of is going to mix into the Maltese Connection where we elaborate on why we mourn celebrity losses.
Yep. Then we go into
Fool's
Paw. I'm going to give you an update on what's happening in the Hollywood industry.
And I'm going to talk about Predator and how it was made and all the issues that they had. Pretty funny.
Awesome.
From there, we're going to go into Hefty Smurf, which is about gut health. We're talking about
the
today.
importance of gut health.
Yep.
Then we go into Rap School, a question about diet.
About the carnivore diet, funnily enough, which we talk about in Hefty Smurf.
Yep. And we finish off with Boo Moments, our mindset and positivity moments. Guys, enjoy. This is episode 7.
How you going, Jay?
Doing good, mate. It's been a great week for me.
Why was it a great week for you?
Yeah, we had a couple commercial auditions,
which
was exciting within the last week. Well, between the last episode we shot, which is just over a week. We did a home and away audition together, mate. We went in for the same role.
Officer Sergeant
Cooper, mate.
Cooper.
Sergeant Bradley Cooper. But what else did I do? Had a good pool evening with the nephews one night through this week.
Pool?
They have my oldest brother has a pool their backyard, and it's been over about 4 years since I last had a pool session over there with the boys, with the nephews. So did that with my brother as well, my other brother. So it was the 2 uncles and the 2 nephews, mate. Oh, that was fun.
Very nice.
And what else, man? I had a beach day at Coogee Beach again.
Coogee Beach is so that used to be, because I used to live in Coogee.
Yeah,
it's
close to your heart.
Yeah,
that one?
but. Can be quite rough at times.
Okay. It wasn't too bad the day we went. I don't go out too far anyway. Yeah. But I went with a couple of good friends, and it was so hot though. The sun was.
Which day was it?
The sun was really coming down. Yeah. What day was that? That was Saturday. Bless you, buddy.
Man, that was coming on. I couldn't concentrate that whole time. No idea what you said. I'm just thinking, don't sneeze.
No, it was really Saturday. It was really hot though, man. Like
Saturday
you really needed sunscreen on and the shade, getting into the shade. And
the one that just passed.
Yeah, the Saturday that just passed. It's Monday here, everybody who's listening and watching. So that was a couple of days ago, man.
And we did an archery session together, which was pretty cool. You were impressive.
Mate.
I was disappointed in myself.
No, I think you did good as well, mate. I think I got the balloons,
twice.
Mate. Twice, yes.
Yeah, we did.
How good was that when they just popped?
Yeah.
When you're just there, pop. That was great. That was fun. But I think we both did well, mate.
We did all right. We should do the next one up. Silver.
There's different levels. I would definitely be down for that. Cool. That was my second archery session, but I really enjoyed it again. Yeah. So I would definitely do that again. And shooting, we still need to go do some shooting. So cool. How was your week though, man?
It was much the same. Had my daughter's birthday party.
Yes.
That was on that 40 degree day, 3 years old.
Yeah.
And we did it in a park, and I had to go, commandeer the park before anyone got there at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, wow.
And it was already scorching hot and humid.
Wow.
I did a Pete Sampras. You know what Pete Sampras is?
No.
If you ever see him when he used to play, if you're just listening, he gets his forefinger just before he serves, wipes his forebrow, and then you just see this river of sweat come off his finger.
Make it rain, mate. You could have got rid of the bushfires for us, mate. Could have helped a little bit,
Could have.
just get Roger up on a plane, mate. Just doing his
dripping.
What's it called? The Pete Sampras.
Sampras sweat relief. So that was it was a ballet themed party. She loved it.
Nice, mate. Was that your choice?
Yeah,
right. The ballet,
living vicariously through.
I saw Eleanor's pics on Instagram. They look great, man.
Yeah, that was a good day.
Awesome, mate.
And then just relaxed yesterday. But the main focus of not focus, but we've been obviously with the death of Kobe Bryant and his daughter.
Yeah, it's been a shock,
and
man.
The other 7 people.
Yeah.
For some, we'll get into it further in the podcast.
Other segments.
Yeah, that kind of. I still think about it when I wake up in the morning for some reason.
Man, it really flattened. I mean, it's been a week now. It's been a week. Yeah, it's
exactly
been
a week.
I
remember. Yeah,
it was Monday morning last week. Yeah,
and seeing Kobe Bryant.
You sent
dead.
the text to me. I had a text from you, and I had a text from my twin brother in Denver, Colorado, and like it just smacked me, man. And I sat in my bed for half an hour. I didn't get out. I was looking it up. I was trying to make sure it was real. And it really gutted me, and it flattened the week a little bit in that sense. Yeah, and plus because we wanted to bring him up in this podcast, you know, looking into it deeper than we probably would have, or we may have probably still looked into it.
It's really interesting though, because, well, for me, we'll just be really brief on it for now. But for me, like I didn't know. I didn't even. If you had asked me had he retired and stuff like that, I would have probably guessed. I wouldn't.
Yeah,
you
weren't so up to date on his life at this time.
I knew who he was, but I've never watched a real game. Now I watched his final game. You've obviously seen it.
The 60-point one.
Man, that's incredible.
Did you watch the whole game?
I watched the last quarter.
Yeah, wow.
Where he hit 13 field goals in a row.
Wow.
Every shot he hit, then the Staples Center just erupted more and more. And, you know, it was from a deficit. They were down by 6 or 8 or at some stage, came back purely because of Kobe. And it was just...
And they won that game.
They won
right?
it.
Hey, yeah. See, I hadn't even watched that last game. He kind of, he faded out into retirement. And but we were there, you know, he started when we were 14, or 13, 14 in 96.
Yeah.
I believe it was 96 he got drafted. And so we were teens. He was just like a few years older than us. So he was this young kid. And we both, you had NBA dreams too, right? At one stage, or not really? Or you just enjoyed basketball?
I loved basketball.
Yeah. We both had a love for basketball.
I drew myself doing dunks, wearing the Chicago Bulls jersey.
Yeah.
Used to do that in school. Did that with soccer as well, mind you.
Yeah.
But
so this guy was part of the fabric of our life and our life story through our 20s and teens and our 30s.
Yeah. But I was trying to think of why him. Like, was it the circumstances of how he died as well? I think that played a part because it was a helicopter accident and he was with his daughter and other people. It made it more tragic. And then seeing the videos of him as a father.
Yeah. And he was young, man. He was cutting his prime. He was just getting into the
literally
second
just
chapter.
Started, yeah.
And he was doing well. And he, because he was such a driven guy, a motivated guy, you almost expected more greatness from him. And it's like, it's greatness we won't get to see come to fruition now. So but we'll definitely...
we'll get into it
We'll get into it more into the Maltese connection.
All right.
Yeah.
What does RP recommend for the day? The P in the RP.
Mate, the P in the RP. Today I am recommending the YouVersion Bible app. I've been using this app for years now. It's a great way to read scripture and it feeds... the spiritual side of my life. What I love about it is that there's a bunch of firstly it works on Androids and iPhones and stuff, and I think even on iPads and laptops and stuff like that. It has multiple versions of the Bible: King James, New King James, the Message
LeBron.
Bible, the LeBron James version, mate. Yeah. Oh, mate, I wouldn't be surprised.
Who's King James?
Mate, King James. The King James is the original Bible. When the first Bible was published, it came out as the King James version. I believe that was the first one.
There obviously was a King James.
Yeah, back in I think it was the late 1500s, man. I get a bit mixed up with this history. But when the printing press came out, I believe the Bible was the first book printed. And it became available to the masses, instead of just the elite few and the Pope and people up there with him. But and look, that's why I believe scripture was made for everyone to read. There's beautiful letters in there on how to live your life and how to live your life well. There's encouragement. What I love about this YouVersion app, it makes it all available to you in multiple different translations. And you follow friends, so you can see what your friends are doing. You have the choice of putting it on private as well if there are some certain devotionals that you want to do on private. But it covers so many themes and areas of life. For instance, I've written a few down here. Some of the topics they cover that you could do like a 3-day plan on or a 3-week plan on. You know, there's things like you could do a 3-week plan, for instance, on fasting, and it tells you what scripture says about fasting and the guy, and not just scripture, but there's people who made that specific plan up will have a devotional there. And so you get a bit of knowledge, you know. I've learned a lot just reading some of these devotionals and plans, but they have other things. They talk about faith and hope, love, fear, worry, peace, healing. They talk about marriage, children, anxiety, forgiveness. They talk about what the Bible says about trust and prayer, wisdom. There's plans devoted just for men, single men or married men, how to be a better father, and same for women. How to prepare for marriage, what to look for in a partner. There's plans devoted to that. So I get a lot of like spiritual wisdom and knowledge, and feed the spiritual side of myself through this app. So, and I've done it for the last few years. It's part of my morning routine, man. Nice. I get up and I spend about at least 10, 15 minutes getting a bit of scripture in that way. And when I'm really getting into it, I try and do it maybe half an hour, just reading some scripture from that. Okay. You can even just read the Bible from that thing. Yeah,
that's kind of what I haven't read the Bible since I've never read it, since primary school. Mm-hmm. And I downloaded that app because great. I've wanted to find a way to read the Bible, and I just don't know where to begin. It's such a big book, and I'm so far behind reading books.
It can be daunting.
There's a way where it can kind of
on the U version, and then on the U version app, because it just gives you snippets from that are relevant to the topic you're actually wanting to learn from. So that's a good way to not have to just jump right in from the beginning to the end and not know where to start. That gives you specific scriptures on the topics or themes you want to learn more about. Plus, there's also plans on how to read the Bible and where to start. And there's like a, read the Bible in a year plan. So there are some plans that go for the whole year. So and they give you what to read every day. Yeah. So you don't have to know how much. It tells you what to do, man. And cool. Then you'll know in a year you'll be done. So glad. I'm so excited that you downloaded it, man. Awesome. What about yourself?
We'll see how we go. Well, my it's also based on reading. It's called the Pocket app. I've used this for a few years. It's great. So essentially what it is, it's like an RSS feed reader. You can get them. You download the app on your phone and you download it on your browser. And what it does, say you're browsing and you come across an article. It can be any kind of page. It can be a YouTube video or whatever, but it's best for articles. So there's a news article about whatever, fasting, for example, and go, I want to read that. Can't read it right now. So when you install it on your desktop or your laptop, there'll be a little pocket symbol in the browser, and you just click that, and it saves it.
Oh, great! Right?
And
that's for time management and organising, man.
And it automatically syncs it to your app on your phone
too. So if you're out and you want to read that article, but you're not near your laptop, you could check it out on your phone.
There's many like that, but this I find is the most user-friendly, streamlined. Then it's on your phone. It's saved on your Pocket app on your browser when you log in. Awesome. So it's great. You can always, but the best thing about it is on your phone, if it's an article, you can, it's got text to voice. So while you're driving or in the gym, you can just click play and it'll read the article out for you.
Yeah, I read that. You had that in the notes. That's amazing
it's fantastic. Too. Really good.
So now not only can you find it and store all the things you want to get back to from multiple sources into one thing. Yeah. What's it look like?
It tells you like I've got 58 articles
to read. Yeah. And then you could just listen to them.
Yep, listen to them. Yeah.
And does it read it pretty
articles. Well? Yeah, it's the let me see if it works right now.
That's so cool, man.
Yeah.
So it doesn't sound like a robot reading.
Kind of.
Okay.
It's like the Siri voice, I guess.
Yeah, okay. I mean,
let me see if this one works.
Become a self-starter. What the U.S. Marines can teach you about.
It's a bit robotic.
But dude, that's pretty good.
Yeah, you can change voices as well. Anyway, it's good.
If you can't understand that, then you shouldn't be reading anyway. You should be learning how to read and listen.
And listening.
You should be learning English.
So that's it.
That's awesome.
Pocket Great. Let's move on. All right. Well, now we're moving on to the more serious topics.
Yep. The weekly lowdown.
So, regarding Kobe Bryant's
we're going to dedicate this week's weekly lowdown strictly to the death of Kobe Bryant.
So I guess we'll just we'll pump out some of the facts to start with in case most people are up to speed with what happened. But
in case you're not, you go for it, man.
So Kobe Bryant, who was 41, Gianna Bryant, Gigi, his daughter, John Kerry
13,
and Alyssa Altabelli, Sarah and Peyton Chester, Christina Mauser, I believe, and Ara Zoban, who was the pilot. They all perished in this accident a week ago today.
Yeah.
I think it was an early 90s helicopter that he had wrapped it in black colors. But yeah, it crashed just before 10 a.m. Pacific time near Calabasas, California, in the hills there.
It's funny, I know all those areas
me
from
too.
living there. Yeah, you would know them too. And where he was going, Thousand Oaks, and apparently he came from the OC. So I was thinking he went from. I thought he probably lived up in the hills of
That's
LA.
what I would
so
have
I'm
thought
thinking,
as well,
man,
yeah.
couldn't he have just driven there?
Yeah.
You know, but he was coming from OC, and that's at least an hour drive to get to LA.
It was all the way near Huntington Beach. He took off from, but that's where he took off from. Who knows? I'm not sure. He must have lived around there. Sure.
Yeah. Well, apparently he lives down in the OC.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Yeah.
And the funny thing, but the thing was he started flying the helicopters to save time so we could spend more time with his family.
I know, man.
Stuck in traffic.
And because of injuries too, he was finding it was cramping in his knees,
really?
and he would fly to games and training because it was quicker, and also he'd be able to stay fresh and loose in his body.
Yeah.
But one of the main reasons was to save time so he could spend more time with his family. So it was tragic that it was a helicopter that would end his life and take him away from his family.
Yeah.
Hey, it's just tragic because that morning apparently was extremely foggy.
Yes.
More than usual.
So, and the police helicopters were grounded.
We're all grounded that day.
So it's not, from what I read, it wasn't extremely out of the ordinary to allow that flight to happen. But it obviously wasn't ideal. Fog was a major cause of the accident, it seems, because he was flying visually impaired, basically.
Yeah, and he did that. What was it? A VF something where he was given permission to fly on his own with his own visual without
instruments.
Without instruments, with his own eyesight.
Right.
Yeah.
But then it got to the point where, as what you noted, was the fog in the hills was like milk, basically. Yeah. So they couldn't. That's one thing you can take sort of a solace is it seems like it was pretty quick and they wouldn't have seen the mountain coming.
Yeah, it must have just popped up out of nowhere, and just suddenly took them.
And the people in the passengers surely wouldn't have seen it. I don't know if they would have been terrified. They were traveling at quite a speed as well. So
then they were descending at 2,000 feet a minute. So I don't know what was going on there. Were they feeling that? Because you'd imagine they were feeling that the G force of that.
Think so.
And were they thinking something was going on? But what baffles me is I watched a flight simulation. I think
I saw that as well.
Of the flight they took, and the guy and they put the voiceover of the pilot, and his radio conversation with the bases that were
traffic control,
the traffic control bases, and he went through one, then they took him to another one. I think the first one got him to stay in Burbank and circle around a bit because of
in Glendale,
in that area. And then he took off towards Burbank. And then he went. The second one switched him to the third base, and then that's when the third base guy was trying to pick him up.
He was too low.
Yeah, and he was saying, "You're too low for us to read you." And it was like. Literally a few minutes after he said bye to the second base and said, "Yep, switch me to the third base."
Yep. That was the special, the special permission that he got. So he was asking for, what's the word? It's like extra. They were going to guide him in, essentially, the third controller, and pay special attention to him because of the fog and help him through. But because he was flying too low, they couldn't pick him up on the radar in the hills.
So I wonder if he must have not heard them either then, right?
Possibly. Yeah, that's right, because he was so low. He possibly didn't hear them.
So he was waiting to hear from them and they're waiting to hear from him and no one was hearing anything. And then the next thing, it was just
he increased altitude and was flying over the 101, I believe. He was following a freeway.
Yeah, he was heading towards the 101, because that goes up north towards there.
For whatever reason, drastically reduced altitude, took a bank, and was traveling at some crazy speed, 2,000 feet per minute. So it was a very high energy impact crash. So they would have been killed instantly, which is sadly, it's a good thing, The first thing I heard when the reports were coming out was that it dropped for like 15 seconds, and then that's what really upset me because I thought,
they were
imagine what they were doing there.
out,
15 seconds is a long time. They would have been hugging each other. They knew it would have been the
freaking
end.
out, like thinking, shit, like, did I have to fly today,
Yeah.
man? Like I always think like, and maybe I'm totally wrong, but then if in those moments, what would race through your head? Hey, like, all the things you didn't finish, the people you didn't say bye to properly, the last words you didn't get to say.
Who knows?
And like, what's next? And oh my gosh.
Yeah. It's
like, apparently he went to mass that morning at 7 a.m. He got there before 7, and the priest was saying that he was there at 7 a.m. And apparently he talked to Kobe he talked to LeBron James that morning, just before LeBron boarded his plane from Philly to LA. They chatted on the phone, and LeBron wrote, I didn't know that was going to be the last time I'd speak to you, bro. Like, so tragic, man. Full details of the case apparently won't come out for like 12 to 18 months.
Yeah.
And the fact that, we were talking about they identified, I'm sure they've identified more bodies now, but a few days ago it was only down to 4. Yeah. And one of them was Kobe, and they were identified because of fingerprints, man. So you can imagine there were no intact bodies there.
I find that people don't realize
when they say we you mentioned it the other day.
Well, even in car motor accidents as well, but especially in that, if you looked at the wreckage, like there was nothing left, So all we are.
I'm surprised they even find body parts.
People don't think that. Oh, I think the majority of people would think, like their bodies will be scattered on the ground, but they're. I don't even want to say it, but they wouldn't be. We're just sacks of liquid.
Yeah,
like we're very, very fragile. So to be identified through fingerprints kind of says
rough. I mean, there was fire involved too, plus a hard impact, explosion, fire. Not much body going to survive that, man. It's so tragic, man. I've got here the National Basketball Association game between the Los Angeles Lakers and the LA Clippers scheduled for Tuesday, the 2 days later, January 28th at Staples Center. That got postponed.
They played now though, didn't they?
Yeah, I don't know if they've played now, but they haven't played this game. They haven't caught up this game, the Lakers Clippers game. The Lakers played Portland though. LeBron was able to say a speech for Kobe. Yeah, they lost unfortunately that game, but they said the decision was made out of respect, for the Lakers organization, which is deeply grieving the tragic loss of Lakers legend Kobe Bryant, his daughter Gianna, and 7 other people in a helicopter crash.
They just missed it by 20 to 30 feet as well. Yeah, it's just so
shocking, man. Yeah, I mean, look, there's been also a lot of love given, and through social media and
it's at the point where, like, I'm looking forward to it passing.
Yeah, and look, soon it'll be old news, man. Yeah. And soon, before you know it, it'll be like, man, I can't believe it's a year, Yeah. Kobe died a year ago, man. It's already been a week.
I can't imagine Vanessa and like his wife and his family.
Oh my gosh, poor things. What do you do? How do you that's a big, like any family losing a father is big, but like I feel he had a 7-month-old daughter. It's like she didn't get to know him, Yeah. And he said in an interview about a year ago that he wants to spend more time with the 2 last girls, Yeah. Gianna was the second girl, and second out of the 4, and he purposefully wanted to wanted to spend time with the 3rd and the 4th more, and he's not going to be able to do that, and Gianna was only 13. I don't know how old the 3rd one is. I think
he's got an older daughter, doesn't he?
Yeah, she's like 17, I think,
A similar thing happened, similar as in the kind of impact on a family where just up the road near Parramatta in Sydney, a drunk driver
that's shocking,
tripped 3 times over the limit, wiped out 4 children, killed them.
3 from one
family of 6 kids.
Apparently a friend of mine at my church knows the family. Yeah.
And
tragic.
What do you do?
What do you do? I don't know. That guy was 29 years old, the driver. Yeah. His life is wrecked too, I'd say.
Well,
I mean, three times over the limit, and deserved.
Yeah, he's finished. He's going to be in prison for the rest of his life, God willing.
And then he has to mentally cope with what he did too.
Yeah.
And it's just tragic news, man. But so there's been a bit of tragedy happening since the last episode. Anyway, man, gosh.
Yeah, it's just, and I was trying to figure out why, like we were saying earlier, like with Kobe.
Yeah, should we go into the Maltese connection section straight off this one?
Yeah, okay.
And we'll do full spoil after.
Like,
makes sense to kind of go into this. The Maltese connection, we wanted to talk about the impact that celebrities have on us when they die and why. Why is there an impact, right? Why does it feel like we've lost a family member or a dear friend?
Well, I got upset because a lot of people were posting certain things on Facebook which seemed ignorant. I'll read a couple out that I found.
Yeah, please.
Which were very easy to find. So when a news site or someone would post about the accident, people would write, "What about the other people that died in their family?"
Yeah.
Sad celebrity obsessed world we live in. When only 14 minutes ago, the other people that perished in the Kobe chopper were announced. Yet all day, worlds have been mourning one person on that flight that happened to be a nice guy that was good at running and playing basketball, for God's sakes. I don't care what your net worth is, blah, blah, blah. He goes on a little bit more.
Did you know that person?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He meant well. But what about the other 4 people? You guys making sure it's not his wife and daughters, that's all that matters. There are 4 dead. This is obviously before they realized there were 9 people.
Yep.
And someone else wrote, "What about the other people in the helicopter? Don't their lives matter?" ! So I'll read out what I wrote down.
Yeah, part of the Maltese connection today is to explain why they matter sometimes above, or they seem to matter more than...
Seemingly more than other people. In ways, it as bad as it sounds, they do matter more to individuals compared to someone else. And you can't deny that. Because
the range of, the amount of people they affect are more than the other people that were on,
I'll read out quickly.
Obviously, their lives all mattered.
Yeah.
But go for it, bud.
Hey, man. All right, ready?
Yep.
So I've thought a bit about this. This is what I was saying to someone on Facebook.
Yep.
I've thought a bit about this, but that's the nature of mankind. 150,000 people die each day, and you can't care about them all no matter how tragic it is. So why do we care when we care? It could be for a few reasons. Obviously, if the person is close to you, a family member or a close friend, then it is impactful to you and your life would be different afterwards. But also, such in the case of a celebrity like Kobe or Michael Jackson or Robin Williams. These people do affect the lives of many, and through TV and interviews, we feel like we know them. To a certain extent, we do know them. So it's this weird, surreal feeling when they die, especially when it is so tragic like what happened here with Kobe. It's not because he was good at running or bouncing a ball. He inspired countless people and people were entertained by him, so he impacted their lives in a positive way. Thus, it's sad and the people on the helicopter... Thus, it is sad that the people on the helicopter are among the 150,000 other people that sadly no one really cares about as much. You don't really care about the other people in the helicopter. Otherwise, you would care about the guy who got hit by a car in Madrid, or an 87-year-old woman who died in her sleep in India. We can't take in all that info, so naturally we care about the people we feel we know. Kobe definitely impacted countless people, but the other people on the helicopter did not. That doesn't mean they're lesser people, but human nature will dictate that the story is Kobe and his daughter who died. If he wasn't on board, the story wouldn't have gotten any attention and people wouldn't be posting murals of him all over social media. So that's the main thing that I was thinking. But then there's all these other things once we dug into a bit of research about it, like nostalgia.
Yeah.
So especially with him, like what you said earlier.
Yeah, he was part of, for us, he was part of our teen years, high school years. When we watched basketball, the sport we loved, he was a big part of that, We saw him match up against Michael Jordan and him and Allen Iverson,
You feel like, it's part of your childhood. That's gone. Like I'll think when Sylvester Stallone or Schwarzenegger passes away, that's going to definitely affect me.
Yeah.
They
were heroes in a sense. No, I'm not. As I've gotten older, I've
tried not to use that.
I've tried not to see these human beings, especially with living in LA and meeting a lot of these guys and seeing that, you know, they're just human beings. And I think it's very healthy, especially the older you get. And it's part of the maturing is realizing that, hey, these guys are just human beings, man. Like we don't have to put them up on pedestals and treat them like gods. But still, it's okay to respect people and to honor people and to appreciate people. Yeah. Even now, there's people I appreciate. I probably don't put them up on pedestals anymore, and I know they're not perfect by far. But I still appreciate them. You know what I mean? But they are a part of, especially when you're younger and you're looking up to these guys, you know, they become part of, and they inspire you. I wrote down a few notes. I said right here, because I was looking into it a bit and thinking about it through the week as well. And I said, because we see celebs and stars so often, even more so these days, due to the internet and smartphones, we develop an attachment to them, right? We can always see them, right? On TV, on YouTube.
Especially on social media.
Yeah, on cable, social media. Yeah. Now we can follow them as well.
And you're following them in their day-to-day life.
Yeah, like day-to-day life. Now it's not just on the court or in the film. It's or when they're getting interviewed. It's them, you know, at home with their family doing a quick, or on their holiday doing a quick snap. So even more so, you start to think you know them. Like we feel like we recognize them and like we even know them. The fact that we hear and learn so much about them as well makes us feel we know them even more. In the comfort of our own lounge room, we can see their faces and hear their voices and be moved by their music or their performance or their presence and their athletic talent, sometimes a few times a week, you know. Yeah. And we can see these guys and hear them more than we see most of our relatives, you know what I mean? Like how many times do you see your uncle, you know, for instance, or your auntie, like, you know what I mean?
You would see them more than close friends and relatives.
Exactly. So attachments develop, you know what I mean? We can sometimes see these guys or these guys and girls, we can see them as inspiration, you know, people who have achieved the dream maybe we want to achieve. Like for us with the acting, maybe we see some actors as, man, they've crossed over, they've gotten there. Like they're evidence that it's real and it's doable and that we too can do it, you know? So, you know, and usually like these people love to inspire others to dream, to work hard because they too can do it, you know? So as if you're not going to get attached to someone like that, you know, they become like that best friend and the mentor, the person the light, you know, the person who shows that you can make it, you can do it, it is real, and human beings can cross the void, you know, and get over to the other side. But even if we are just fans, right, and don't necessarily want to achieve what they have achieved, we still honor and respect them, maybe because they have reached a high level within their chosen field. And they have also provided entertainment for us, usually for a long period of time. For instance, Kobe started playing, in the NBA when I've got here 13, 14, and I saw him play and heard about him and his work ethic throughout my 20s and 30s and saw what he became. So there's also a level of respect there. They become a part of the fabric of our lives and our upbringing, as well as part of the fabric of our society and culture. So it's shocking when we lose them. It's like you're losing a dear friend or a family member. And like Kobe, his name was part of culture. Yeah. You know what I mean? Just like Brad Pitt and Johnny Depp and, you know, Al Pacino, it's part of our culture now. You know what I mean? So there's a shock to that. And it's even more shocking when the life is taken young, ended short, when the person was still doing a lot of things and had more dreams and goals to achieve, things you were excited to see them fulfill, but now, no, you will never, you know, they will never come to fruition in their own strength, obviously. Or Kobe's dreams are done now. He's done. He's gone, you know? Yeah. So that's a shock. That's what gets you. And unlike, like, you know, sports star, like say some musicians or actors who probably had a drug-riddled life and were kind of, you know, it was almost like you could see them going that direction and it was bound to happen. It's not really a surprise. With Kobe, he was so healthy and determined and goal-oriented, you know, so for someone like that to just get wiped out all of a sudden, finished, it's a big shock, man. So I think that's why it impacts us, you know, and why we mourn as not just a nation, but the world mourns, you know, all over the world, people were mourning. The Philippines were doing a lot of... I saw that. Yeah, Philippines went hard at commemorating him. And
do you think, as morbid as it sounds like, I was trying to think who else would have such an impact if something happened to them. I was trying to think...
Oh, there's a few. I mean, LeBron, you know, like sports stars.
Like taking it out of sports, say. Would it be... I mean... Like, I know Joe Rogan has it'll be different with someone like him.
Yeah.
But
I think so. And
impacts a lot of people every day.
I would say some like stars, like film stars.
Yeah,
you know,
but
just say Johnny Depp or Brad Pitt. I
Yeah.
think. Do you think that
I
people
don't
would
think
agree?
it'd be definitely, but I don't know if it's going to be
As
to the
impactful
extent. Like this has been pretty crazy. I can't remember the last time. Even maybe Michael Jackson or Robin Williams. You know,
yeah.
because he
trying to-
seems so great with his kids as well. It kind of makes it sadder.
And there's something honourable about the athlete life as well, because
Yeah.
there's discipline, it's hard work, it's fitness, it's health, and you know. Whereas I don't know, maybe it's not as honourable the actor's life. You know, not to say that there's no hard work and sacrifice involved in that. You know,
I know actually, if The Rock.
yes,
He kind of crosses both.
because he kind of has
he's
both of
so
those.
energetic and positive, and so
Yeah.
I don't want to go down that road, but I was just trying to think about why Kobe, why so much. Celebrities die all the time, and I had no real. I didn't follow him. I wouldn't know what he was up to, but I knew when I saw that notification pop up on my phone that morning that's why I messaged you straight away.
Yep.
And I just thought, this is big.
Massive.
This is
I
really
think
bad.
we may have switched off because we moved on from basketball, but we still knew of Kobe, and just the way his popularity was, you heard about him a lot. You know, you may have not known the nitty gritty details, but we would hear of him, and you'd still, you'd hear of him in the distance some way somehow, and I think still deep down there was a respect for him. And I think it's like with anyone in your life, you get comfortable and used to them being alive and around, and then they're gone, and you're, oh crap, like I wasn't even keeping up to date, and what was he doing? And it still hurts though, and I can only imagine the ones who are still freshly following him, and I mean, so much to say there, hey man. But we wanted to use this Maltese connection space and time today with this episode 7, to really commemorate Kobe Bryant, right? And also to use it as a place for us to let out a little bit too, hey man, and to to let out and find some healing as well, and to just to speak about it and to speak about it with our listeners. And we both want to just say a little something to Kobe. Hey, man, do you want me to read this one out?
Yeah, go for it, man.
Yeah, this is from both Roger and I. We want to thank Kobe for the years of inspiration, man. Kobe, I'm going to read this out because I don't want to try and remember it and butcher it, but I just want to read it out. And this is just a genuine thank you from both Roger and I. Kobe, man, thank you for the life you lived and the legacy you created and leave behind. Thank you for daring to dream, for making good use of your talents that you were gifted with, for working hard to make them even better, for daring to chase your dreams and to build on them. Thank you for saying yes. Yes to the calling. Yes to the narrow path. Yes to the hard work, man, the sacrifice, the perseverance. Yes to the challenge. Thank you for entertaining us over the years, inspiring us to dream and to be better ourselves, encouraging us to work hard and to be persistent, consistent, and focused. We love you, man. Like you said, Mamba out. But like LeBron said, not forgotten. Live on, brother. Boom.
Nicely said.
Yeah. Cool, bro.
Cool.
It's good. Live on, Cobes. All right, man.
Let's
Fool's Paul.
Let's
Cool.
take a turn here.
Let's take a turn, guys. Let's bring this up a bit. All righty.
All right. Want me to start?
Yeah.
So I'm not recommending anything today. I'm going to talk about you've seen Predator.
Yeah, many years ago,
many years ago. Me
I
too.
can't even really remember it.
Oh, well, it's pretty straightforward, to be honest. Alien lands in the jungle.
I love the notes you wrote, though, on that, man. I didn't know a lot about that stuff. And Van
Neither
Damme.
did I. Yeah, so Van Damme, this is just some little factoids about how difficult it was to make Predator. If you don't know what it's about, basically, a predator, an alien, lands in the jungle, and crosses paths with an elite special forces unit headed up by Arnold Schwarzenegger and Carl Weathers. And
Carl Weathers, wow.
Yeah.
Rocky fame.
Yes.
I'm sure he was probably famous before that, but yeah.
Yeah, I think he was he was an NFL player.
Really? Ah, wow.
I'm pretty sure it was. Anyway, and the Predator starts picking them off one by one. It's a pretty cool movie, very 80s action oriented. The special forces guys are in there for obviously another mission, and they start getting picked off. Arnold's the last one, of course. Spoiler alert: he ends up being victorious. The Predator. The Predator kills himself.
And he wins. Really? He makes it to the end.
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Will he be back though?
Yes. Well, he wasn't back for the sequel.
No.
He opted not to. Smart move, I believe.
I'm sure
but Van Damme,
continue.
Van Damme was originally cast, and he was very excited. This was one of his first roles, and he was going to be against Arnold Schwarzenegger. But he thought that he was going to be like Van Damme. He thought he might have had a minimal costume, nothing major, but you could see who he was. And then when they started, getting him in the original suit they had, he was completely covered, and
you can't see my face.
And they're like, well, you're invisible, because the Predator's invisible to an extent. And he was very upset about that.
Yeah.
But he persevered. But yeah, Arnold ended up calling him the relentless complainer.
Yeah, wow. I kind of feel for him though. Firstly, I didn't know it was one of his first roles, so you think he wouldn't be that fussy at the time. But also because it's a new role, you'll get the money and you'll get your name attached to the gig, and it'll open up more doors. And maybe as a beginner, you just need to write it then.
Yeah.
But for him, it's like, being a beginner there, you want to be seen too.
Of course.
Because that's where, especially back in those days, man, there wasn't no social media and stuff like that.
No.
If you were, on the screen, then people would get to know your face and most likely call you in for more stuff,
I'd still be pretty happy to take it.
Yeah, do you think so? But then there were issues with the suit, right?
So the suit, it looked like he hated the suit, Jean-Claude Van Damme. It was because he's not a very tall guy.
No.
But the Predator was meant to be quite menacing and tall. So they had him on stilts.
Oh, that's crazy.
And it was like this red, really, I don't know if you saw I've got a picture of it here. It looked like a giant lizard, and everyone kind of hated it. And it was this red thing. And the Predator was meant to be very agile and just alien movement, very swift and smooth. And Van Damme was on stilts in this. And his head was in the neck, and his hands were in the forearms of the suit, and he couldn't move properly. And if you see some of the videos, he's just lumbering around. It looks really funny. So when they got the suit, the McTiernan, the director, filmed a couple of shots and sent it back to Hollywood and said, do you really want us to continue
with this?
And obviously they said, no. So they just they quickly filmed everything that didn't have the Predator in it while they were rebuilding a new costume and a new suit.
Wow.
And then
so they still used the suit. It wasn't back then. No. It wasn't. Did they end up using CGI?
No, it's still a suit, but they made a whole new one.
Yeah, they still used the suit, but just
wow.
They
had Kevin Peter Hall, who was.
Why didn't they do that in the first place?
I don't know. I don't know how they went from so wrong to so right with the old suit.
Oh, and then they used a really tall guy, because they still wanted it to be tall, right?
Yeah,
to have that menacing kind of.
Yeah, and he looks fantastic.
Yeah. Wow.
And then there are a lot of conflicting stories about why Van Damme was fired in the end. They didn't use him in the new one, which they theoretically could have.
He couldn't do the splits in that suit, man. Not with stilts on.
Well, one thing, while he was in the original suit with the stilts, they wanted to do this stunt where he jumped out of a tree.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, and he said, no way, that's impossible.
Well, didn't someone break a leg?
And then the stunt guy did it and broke his leg.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, at least he was smart in that sense, eh? And he had the guts and the balls to stand up for himself, even as a beginner like that. And I think that's very important. And he made a success of himself anyway.
A year later, he was starring in, I'm not sure what it was. It was one of his major Bloodsport, maybe, or something like that.
And all that,
Yeah. So
and you can't forget Street Fighter, mate.
Oh, it's true. Well, I try to forget it. Kylie Minogue
creeps in at night sometimes. He's in a cold sweat, mate.
I'll rattle off some of the other quick facts. The film's insurance company required a security guard for actor Sonny Landham, who had a history of being combative. So the guard was there to protect the actors and the crew from him.
Oh my
He was
God.
actually a porn star, apparently. I found out. Yeah.
Jeez.
Wow. Yeah. Back to the first set. It looked like a lizard with the head of a duck, is what they said about the first suit.
The first suit was like,
yes, it was.
right, big time.
They said, I just remember looking through the trees and seeing this giant red thing coming at us. Just exactly what we're trying not to have. And that's when they took the shots and then sent it back and changed it. As you can imagine, they were filming in the jungles of Mexico. It's pretty rough. Just about every member of the cast and crew got sick during production.
Oh, man, that's
there were
heavy.
venomous snakes, extreme heat. The drinking water at the hotel was not filtered properly. All sorts of problems. So McTiernan and Schwarzenegger refused to eat much of the local food for fear of getting sick. He lost 25 pounds. The line producer lost almost 40. And Arnold, you can see him get noticeably thinner as the film progresses.
Yeah, wow.
Because he was trying to eat less so he doesn't get sick and
Poor
halt
dude.
production.
I need my iron.
The director broke his wrist after falling out of a tree. Leaves started falling off the trees.
It was changing the scenery, right? Oh my gosh, what a shocking production.
I know. It turned out great. And the last thing was a monkey was hired to play the invisible predator swinging through the trees, but was too embarrassed to perform in costume. So
The monkey was too embarrassed.
Apparently.
Oh my God. Wow.
That's Predator.
the complaining monkey.
Go watch it.
Yes.
If it bleeds, we can kill it. Get to the chopper.
Is that
That's
all,
where chopper comes from.
Are they lines from
Yeah.
Predator?
Yep.
There you go, guys.
Yeah.
Chopper. Alrighty. I've got some industry news for you guys. I'm not going to talk about
News?
News, yeah.
Wrong
What's
one.
it going to be? What's it going to be? What's it going to be? Then the Hollywood news. Alrighty, guys. Apparently, Doolittle, which this one's a bummer for me because
it tanked, mate.
Yeah, because I'm a Robert Downey Jr. fan. I'm sure most of you are. It was supposed to launch a family-friendly franchise for Universal. It was supposed to lay a foundation for a post-Iron Man future for Robert Downey Jr. Instead, it became the year's first big budget. Okay, the year's first. So not the year's most.
Your
Jeez,
emphasis. We've just
started the year. So I was going to say, how do they know? We're into the second month, guys. No, it became the year's first big budget bomb. It may lose as much as $100 million for the studio. I did a bit of research. It was a $175 million budget.
Yeah, $100 million is probably Downey's fee.
Probably, yeah. So far, it's made just under $100 million.
Jeez, that's really bad.
And usually they make most of it in that first weekend or a few, So that's sad to hear. Anyway, moving on. Kevin Hart and Jason Statham are teaming up for the action comedy Man from Toronto. Yes, action comedy. So that's going to be cool. Probably something like Rush Hour or Beverly Hills Cop. I'm thinking. I don't know.
Could be.
Sony is I tried to do a little bit of research on it, but Sony's keeping it under wraps for now. Hart is killing it at the moment. Yeah. Especially with the Jumanji, he's doing. I think he's filming that at the moment. Many projects.
A new Jumanji.
Yeah, there's a second one coming up. Or a third one. Yeah.
Second one. They were doing press for the second one. That's out. At the moment.
That's coming out, right? And then I think they're doing a third one. I believe I may have written that.
Just like Fast and the Furious 10. You're going to start down
did I write that? No, I didn't write that for the film. I believe I saw a 3 in pre-production, maybe.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. So, and he did that one with Bryan Cranston recently, and it just a lot. He's doing a lot.
He was on Fool's Gold.
Did something else recently. Oh, really?
Yeah, that's where they had a rapper who was going to play that part, and he couldn't get in the country because he had convictions.
No way.
Or tried to bring
Where was he from?
From America.
And he couldn't get into the country. Oh, they filmed it in Australia, right? That's because you had a part on that, right? And did you get to see him? Meet him then? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't really chat to him or anything.
Yeah, great.
I didn't know who he was, but he was hilarious.
Yeah. I've met him in real life at the old club I used to work at a few times. Yeah, he was he tipped well, side tipped. He's a really cool dude.
He's
short guy, but it's full of like energy and talent and just confidence. Yeah, awesome.
Highest paid comedian, I think.
Really?
Maybe second to
hard worker apparently
Seinfeld.
too, man.
Yeah.
Very.
Well, you see him and The Rock together. They're just pumping it out.
Really cool, man.
Doing press anyway.
Linda Hamilton won't be back.
Thank God.
Yeah. Yeah, well,
Not
and
against Linda Hamilton, but against that monstrosity of Terminator, whatever it was.
Well, yeah, it says, in an age when actors will diplomatically speak about their hopes for a sequel, even if a movie bombs, the Terminator star granted a candid interview to Brian Davids, who I think works for the Hollywood Reporter, to reveal how she really feels about Dark Fate and its failure. It was a failure, right? She said, I would really appreciate maybe a smaller version where so many millions are not at stake. Today's audience is just so unpredictable, Hamilton says. I can't tell you how many laymen just go, well, people don't go to the movies anymore. It should definitely not be such a high-risk financial venture, but I would be quite happy to never return. So no, I am not hopeful because I would really love to be done.
People still go to the movies.
People still go. Look, you know what? At least you didn't say white men aren't going to the movies. Yeah. That's why the movie flopped, because there was a lady and they weren't putting Schwarzenegger on the posters. But and I get it, She was beautiful in the first one, hey?
Yeah.
And her feminine beauty really shone through that film and it's
then
gorgeous.
Her masculinity came through fantastically.
Yeah, it was a nice balance. And she stepped up and had that side of her as well. And then in that last one, right, they really just pushed her as a masculine female. Anyway, Kobe Bryant to be remembered at the Oscars ceremony. That's soon, right? That's in sometime, I think, late Feb or maybe early March, usually. Yeah, is it Feb?
Well, you've got it in your notes.
Do I have it in the notes? Yeah, it is. See, that's how good I am, mate.
Come on, mate.
Dude, I'm doing all the work for myself and then I forget. Wow, that's early. It's usually in March from what I remember. But anyway, yes, the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences is planning to acknowledge the death of late basketball legend Kobe Bryant at the 2020 Oscars ceremony on February 9th. Yep. Although Bryant's basketball accomplishments overshadowed his film efforts, he won an Oscar. He was an Oscar winner for his 5-minute autobiographical for short film Dear Basketball. Have you seen that?
I've saw clips of it.
Clips of it. Hey, I didn't know he won an Oscar for that. That's amazing, right? What a legend.
I don't want to watch it because I don't want to get sad again.
I know. It looks good though. I mean, and it won an Oscar.
Yeah,
I mean. Yeah, what a legend, man. He was just getting into the writing, hey?
Yeah.
I think the guy he wrote that with or teamed up with, they were doing something else, and after his death, he cleared it. He just deleted it all and didn't finish it.
Oh, really?
I saved that article. Didn't get around to reading it, but I want to, but something to do with, like, if he's not going to be in it, then it's not even worth it. So, yeah. It says here, the Los Angeles Laker great wrote, executive produced and lent his voice to the project, which won the Best Animated Short Oscar at the 2018 ceremony. The Academy on Sunday paid tribute to Brian in a touching Instagram post. So they wrote this, last Sunday. They wrote, they doubted a kid would make it in the NBA and he proved them wrong. They doubted he could win a championship and he proved them wrong. They doubted he could make movies and he won an Oscar. Like all great artists, Kobe Bryant proved the doubters wrong. Rest in peace. That was really cool, man. And that's going to be a touching tribute to him, February 9th. So that's soon. Gosh, what's today? Sweet. Today's date is the 3rd. Yeah, so we're getting there. Wow, it's second in America. So, and a week from now. There you go. Owen Wilson is headed to Disney Plus and the small screen corner of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Apparently he's got a part in the
Adventures of Loki.
Yeah, that Loki TV series coming out. So they're just kind of doing
everything.
What are they called again? Spin-offs. Yeah. Yes, of everything, mate.
Because Loki was...
Chris Hemsworth is going to get a spin-off, I bet. He'll be a TV star too now and make even more money.
Because Tom Hiddleston, he was very popular as Loki. Even more loved than Chris.
Really?
Well, it was different. It was...
I mean, he dated Taylor Swift for a little while too. Maybe that added to the...
Tom did. Who didn't? But a bunch.
What was it? What was it? Wrong one. Is it?
It's over.
It's over. We lost it.
Who didn't?
Crickets. Yes. Yes. No. Who didn't? All right. Lost boys. Yes. We didn't. Yeah. Maybe we'd have
That's where we went wrong.
a million followers now. Okay. Lost Boys reboot gets second CW pilot order. It's going to be CW, so it's going to be all pretty boys and pretty girls, I guess. I tried to get an audition for the first one a couple of years ago, I believe it was, but I think they did create a pilot and had a small cast. But now they're ordering. Says the CW has ordered 2 more pilots for the 2021 season, including a second formal order for a series reboot of the 1987 film Lost Boys. Said the network had previously ordered a Lost Boys pilot season before ultimately passing. So, but they did create a project. It may have not gotten the green light to go on and, I don't know, to get into a series, obviously. It says also one thing about that, none of the cast members from the first pilot are attached to the new version. But the same writers and I believe the same executive producer.
They're recasting it. Basically.
Yeah, they're recasting it. Yeah, so. And I'm going to finish off this segment with some films that are in development. So they could be in any kind of like script mode at the moment, talks. They're not in pre-production or production. They're probably far from it, maybe a year or 2 from being in any kind of production. But they're in talks, they're in development. So here they are. Ready?
I'm ready.
You ready? All right. Bad Boys 4.
What a surprise.
Well, not surprised by the recent success of the third one. So yes, that was going to happen. Thor, Love and Thunder, which is going to be done in Sydney. That's getting done this year though. So that's soon. Yeah. That's almost getting into pre-production pretty much. Jurassic World 3.
Possibly in Malta.
Yeah, I was reading, but it's saying US, possibly Vancouver from what I've seen so far. But Malta would make sense. I wouldn't be surprised. Yep. National Treasure 3. John Wick 4, plus Matrix 4 is in pre-production right now. Yeah. So Keanu Reeves is killing it.
He's going to do that. And
he has this year as well, Bill and Ted's Face the Music is coming out. He's in pre-production for Matrix 4. John Wick Chapter 4 is in development. Go Keanu, mate. He's going to be buying more Harley Davidsons for people.
That's what I was going to say.
What?
The morbid part is, we're saying if someone passes away, touch wood, he would be...
Keanu would shock people.
He's so loved, that guy.
Yeah. I've heard so many great stories of him giving money away and buying, 30 Harley Davidsons for the crew of the Matrix and, buying... giving a percentage of his income to all the makeup artists and this and just blesses, and just loves and... Really down to earth, really cool cat. He'd be one I'd love to hang with that dude, man.
And he's
really
been
chill
through,
with him,
He's been through some tough times as well.
Lost his wife, right?
Yeah. Anyway.
Cool dude.
Yeah.
Kill Bill Volume 3, mate. Okay. And then Django / Zorro.
What do you mean?
So Django and Zorro together. So I don't know if that's going to be Banderas and what's his name?
What?
Jamie Foxx. And I don't know if that's going to be Tarantino, but Kill Bill was Tarantino,
has to
right?
Be Tarantino.
So it has to be. Or the guy who did Zorro. Who did Zorro?
Who knows?
Can't remember. Aquaman 2. I didn't like Aquaman 1. No. Black Panther 2. Wow. Shrek 5, mate. How's that for a resurrection? Everything's getting resurrected,
Shrek's
mate.
Pretty awesome.
And are you ready for it? Fast and the Furious 10, mate. We're getting into double digits.
Man. Did you see? I watched the trailer the other day
for the 9th one.
For the 10th one.
No,
for the 9th one. Sorry, beg your pardon.
The 9th one is coming out, right? Yeah. Is it? How was it? No, not good.
Oh,
same old.
Yeah, man. They were like. This truck was like levitating.
Yeah,
flew into the air. The thing
did Vin Diesel catch it on his motorbike?
He might as well have. It would have been just as believable.
Into the ocean.
The thing I don't like about the Fast and Furious movies is they kill so many innocent people.
I know, right? I wanted to bring this up because I had this conversation with my brother today about because we were, you and I were texting each other yesterday about people dying on the roads, and when we heard about that guy who killed the 4 kids, and then we were talking about guys who just drive crazily on the road, swerving in and out of lanes, and then they nick a car and clip a car, and then that car they clipped the driver gets killed because they swerve in front of a truck, but that guy gets away scot-free, that pisses me off, man. That is one of my pet peeves when I see freaking drivers like that.
Vin Diesel
makes
driving
my
around.
Boil blood, my blood boil, mate. My boil blood comes out, mate. Oh, and the boil blood comes out. You know, it's trouble. But no, if I saw Vin Diesel doing that, I'd be really pissed off, man.
Man, there's one of them.
And
There's
you
so
know what?
many of them.
There's no holds barred, mate,
Yeah.
when the boil blood comes out. I don't care who you are.
They're supposed to be that you're saving the world, right? But there's one of them, I don't remember which number it was, but they're towing a huge safe through Brazil, I think, or somewhere. It's just, a massive like bank safe, right?
Yeah.
The two cars have it attached to a chain, and they're just collecting sidewalks, and they're hammering around the city streets, and like you're definitely mashing people into mulch,
Right?
You know,
Yeah.
it's like
and
then they have a cool
destroying
line.
people's stores and their shops or their belongings. Yeah, their cars and stuff like that. And this is what not only that, but they're also encouraging, like, it's cool to drive like this and then you get these young kids who, their brains are still developing and they get into a car and then they're driving all of a sudden.
They lock into a safe and then they go and...
Mate.
Some of the stuff
think
you
they
in
can
number
drive-
9, I don't think you can... There was a submarine in 8, I think, that they blew up. I don't know.
Yeah, wow. I just hate that it's going to inspire, like, you get all the girls going in to see the bad boys driving around and then all the guys want to be like that to impress the girls and think I'm going to drive crazy too. It's not funny when you're wrapped around a pole and your life is gone or you're killing other people. You know what I mean?
Pretty deep, man.
It is. I remember when I was in high school, my last year of high school, one of my friends, they were doing that whole driving in, mucking around with each other. One car clipped the other car. The friend's car clipped it. And then he went wrapped around a pole.
Yeah.
Everyone in that car died.
Yeah.
I believe, no, he was the only one who died. He was a passenger too. And everyone else was seriously injured. I don't know if there was any other deaths. But that hit me hard when I was in high school.
bet.
He was gone.
Happens every day. Well, I see
crazy.
crazy people driving all the time. It really,
So I had to...
pisses me off.
Yeah. I had
feel
to
like
put that one in
doing
there
a
for
pit
this
maneuver
one.
on them.
The what?
Pit maneuver.
Pit
Where
maneuver?
someone's driving and like the cops do it.
Mm-hmm.
And you hit them on the like near their boot, the back end, and it slides them out.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I've never done it.
How do you do that without wrecking your own car?
Well, you do
or
wreck
like-
your own car. I do it in video games.
Yeah, okay. But like,
I
you'd have to
feel
try
like
and
doing
plan
it.
that right so that you don't swerve or they don't go off crazy and
Well,
die
okay,
either.
hold on. I didn't give it that much thought. It's
Yeah,
just
you got to
like,
think
I'd love
about
to
these
do
things,
this.
Rog,
Go.
mate. Otherwise, it's just going to be the Pace podcast.
Just you rambling.
Yeah. All my pet peeves, mate,
Yeah.
with the boil blood. Anyways,
Let's go.
talking about speed and Rush Hour 4 is in development. Beverly Hills Cop 4 and Tomb Raider 2. So there's a lot of resurrections happening.
Oh, Tomb Raider. Well, Tomb Raider 2 is not a... They've resurrected that with 1. Because this is not Jolie. This is the other actress. They've already rebooted it. So that doesn't belong
Yes,
in
there
your
was
little
another
list
one
there,
in
my
between.
friend. You can
Well,
delete
that is in
one.
development. That is in development, Tomb Raider 2.
Okay.
So it must be from the second one with the new girl. I'm thinking the Angelina Jolie. There
not
is
Angelina
only
Jolie.
the Angelina Jolie Tomb Raider, mate. In my book. Love you, Ange. I wonder if she's listening.
Yeah,
if you
I
are,
don't think so.
I'm single.
Not anymore. Oh, man. Woo. Well, on that note, we're definitely not doing CVAs.
No, not this week. We're going to pass on
Oh,
CBAs
man, I
this
forgot
week,
we
guys.
still got
Next
gut
week.
health.
All right.
Oh,
Hefty Smurf.
let's quickly
Yes.
get through this.
Yep. Gut health.
All right. So yeah, we're going to be talking about gut health. Let me just shoot out what I've got. This is a very interesting topic. We think that gut health is really connected to a lot of things that you wouldn't normally associate with your gut health, such as even like depression and
Oh, right.
weight loss and
I
stuff
think a
like
lot
that.
of people are, and we're pretty knowledgeable with health and nutrition.
Yeah.
But even for us,
But
it
with
was
this
a
is-
shock. Like
yeah.
most people don't even know what's good food to eat. So let alone this stuff. So look, even if this is a topic, if we can't finish it all in this episode, we can continue it maybe in
Okay.
episode 8.
Okay.
But let's go for it. What
Did you
you
know
got?
that 70% of your immune system is located in your gut? I did not know that.
Yeah, that's full on. I knew it played a
Yeah.
massive part in our immune
70%
health.
part. Like,
Yeah, that's massive.
I never would have even considered that. 95% of serotonin, a major mood influencing hormone.
I just
is
read about
produced
that.
in the
Yeah.
small intestine.
Is it 90? I had 95%. Yeah.
Crazy amount.
Yeah, you think it's just the
You
brain
know?
thing, that the
Yeah.
brain produces
Exactly,
that.
that's
The brain
what I thought.
produces like 5 to 10% of serotonin.
So basically, that's connected to your mood, your depression, your how you
Massive.
feel. You know,
Massive. And instead of maybe getting on all these antidepressants to, to
that's-
increase serotonin
I've-
because you're thinking your brain's not doing it, maybe it's
I've
changing
read
diet.
articles where doctors are now starting, before they're putting people on antidepressants, is
changing diet
focusing on your
first
diet.
as a
What are you
first
eating?
focus.
Yeah.
Man, that's way more healthier.
Which is
and
why
not addictive, you know?
This carnivore diet kind of fad, which we'll talk about quickly.
Yeah.
It's if you refer to it as an elimination diet, which is what it is. You're just eating. You're starting with one thing, and then you do that for a while, and then you start introducing things back in. That's why it makes so much sense, you know, because you're just clearing out your system, and then starting from a blank slate and seeing what affects you. Because you don't know, you're just shoveling in food all day, mixture of stuff that's, you know, digesting together. You don't know what's affecting you positively or negatively.
And it's going to be different for everyone because the microbiome in our gut, and the microbiome's all over our body apparently, like on our skin, our mouth, in our nostrils, in our gut. But most of it, I'd say, would be in the guts as well. It's diverse and it's different. It's unique for everybody. Yeah. So, and it's got to do with our hereditary too. And apparently most of it comes out when we come out of, when we're birthed. And
yes, that's right.
Yeah.
That's why if you have a C-section, can be an issue for your immune system.
Yeah. You don't get as much microbiome if you come out that way. And, and that's happening a lot more these days, right? Yeah. So learning this last week, learning about gut health, has just been really eye-opening, even for us who are pretty into nutrition and health already.
It seems like a lot of people, like what it says here, 62% of people worldwide suffer from digestive complaints or gut complaints. And, you know, thinking about why that is the case, is it because the foods we're eating now and the soil quality and stuff like that isn't what it used to be? And because I'm noticing an influx in people with gluten allergies and these allergies and
even people who have,
you know?
I know I have like autoimmune diseases. And then the more I've opened up to people about it, the more like friends and people I know, they're like, oh yeah, I've got it too. And then you watch people like Joe Rogan says he's got it.
Vitiligo.
He had that, and Peterson has psoriasis and some other things, and
his daughter as well.
Yeah, his daughter had arthritis. You'd be surprised how many people have autoimmune diseases. And there's a lot of diets that try and, you know, help it out, but. Yeah, again, I think it's such an individual thing, man, that not one diet is going to be the answer for everybody. That's one thing we want to push in this episode, right? That we don't have all the answers and we're not experts and we don't say this one diet is good. But like the meat diet, the carnivore diet, do you think because you're saying because it just simplifies the diet, do you think you could do it through other foods? Say you just decide, you know, I'm going to stick to blueberries and bananas, and I'm just going to make blueberries and bananas for the next month. That's all I'm going to eat and make smoothies.
I think the good thing about the reason why the carnivore diet might work as an elimination diet is because you get, you know, a lot of the amino acids and protein and fat through the necessities in a steak. Whereas if you had blueberries and
you won't get much. You won't be getting much protein.
You'll be finished.
Or carbs
you won't last
or fats at all. Yeah, you'd really lose a lot of weight.
So that's why it's probably it's effective to do it with just meat. You know, and if you're eating organic meat, like there's no...
It's definitely got to be hormone-free, antibiotic-free, because it's antibiotics and the surge of antibiotic use over the last few decades that have really killed a lot of the gut bacteria. Apparently our gut bacteria is diverse as the Amazon rainforest. And then the introduction of... antibiotics, I think since the 50s, I believe. Antibiotics, I'm not too sure on that, but it started to really kill all the because antibiotics kill bacteria, but they don't distinguish between bad and good.
And bad bacteria.
Kills all of them. So it's really killed the bacteria, the microbiome in our gut, and it turned an Amazon rainforest into a barren desert. So now our guts are so sensitive, and then we're reintroducing. Every time we eat food, we bring the microbiome and bacteria from that food into our guts again. So there's nothing there to help, you know, react and respond to the food in our guts. So
that's the big thing is, well, I mean, in the last 20 years or so, you just prescribed antibiotics straight away. So everyone's taking.
I haven't had antibiotics in years, man. I've been really diligent about staying off them.
And like what you said, it kills all the bacteria. So you've got the good bacteria and the bad bacteria, the firmicutes and the bacteroids. The problem is you want to have both. You still need the bad bacteria, but it's the ratio, it's the balance is what you need. Balance, and when you're wiping them out and then you're trying to add probiotics or so you're feeding yourself live organisms, then you might be you still might not be correcting the balance. You could be just have too much now.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, because some of the research I was doing was saying like, you need to add in, probiotics and prebiotics and stuff like that. But then I've had times where I've had kefir, I think you call it, kefir, and yogurts, and then I feel like my gut's even worse, you know what I mean? And then some people say, dairy's bad for your gut health, stay off it. And then some people are recommending yogurt and kefir. Kefir's a dairy thing, you know? So there's such differing opinions. Some people say meat's bad, stay off meat. And I get it if it's like, again, filled with hormones and antibiotics, because that's going to be bad for your gut health. But I think if it's clean, hormone-free, antibiotic-free meat, it's fine. There's other like contradictions and differing opinions.
Did you read much about polyphenols?
I read a little bit about that, but I saw you wrote the notes on that. So I'll let you go on to that one.
They're plant compounds that have many health benefits, including reduction in blood pressure, inflammation, cholesterol levels, and oxidative stress. What you want to do is eat foods that are rich in polyphenols. They can't always be digested by human cells, given that they aren't absorbed efficiently. Most make their way to the colon, where they can be digested by the gut bacteria. Good sources of polyphenols would be cocoa, dark chocolate.
I love dark chocolate.
I go up to 98%, mate.
Really? Yeah, I've done the 99, and the 100. I've had 100.
What?
Yeah, some of the Lindt has the 100, I believe. Yeah, I've had it's rough, that one.
It's pretty rough. Just take that as a suppository, mate. Grape skins, green tea, almonds, onions, blueberries, and broccoli.
Nice. I eat a lot of that.
Yeah.
Matcha tea is something I want to get into. I heard it's even better than green tea.
Okay.
And it has all the how do you say it again? Polyphenols, right?
Polyphenols, yeah.
Matcha is something I want to get into, possibly to replace coffee eventually.
You don't like coffee?
I love coffee, mate.
You just drank them on, mate.
Yeah, I'm just drinking this right now. But
coffee's got its own benefits. I don't can't name any, but
no, there are good benefits from coffee as well, and some people say there's some negatives as well. Again, another thing, there's differing views on so many differing views on anything nutrition. Anything on nutrition.
Here's a good fact that I found, right? And it's quite relevant for the majority of people who want to lose weight. A study showed that the weight of mice could be changed by over 15% just by correcting their intestinal bacteria. This link is also evident in humans. So they transported bacteria from obese mice to healthy ones and resulted in the healthy mice becoming obese.
Wow.
So just by the bacteria in the gut.
So you think some people might be overweight because the bacteria they have feeding in their guts
could definitely have an.
So if they get that out or kill them off somehow, and get different kind of bacteria cultivating in their gut, and that can be done again. How can what's something we can leave with the audience to like give them a bit of a takeaway? Firstly, I recommend, guys, gut health. What we're trying to really push here that gut health is majorly important, right? It's as important as getting good sleep and exercising. So really spend the time to look into it. My brother and I want to get he heard about what they call I think it's a Viome test done where it's gross, but they
where you drink your own.
No, Oof, my gosh.
There is that. I've heard that.
What, you drink your own poop?
Yeah.
Oh,
no,
I've heard some.
No, you get someone else's.
Oh yeah, well they're thinking and they plant it into other people's guts. That's a bit rough, hey. Yeah, we're going there definitely, but no, we're not doing that. We're going there as in health and nutrition. It's we as people, as a collective, as a people. You and I, we're doing it, buddy. After this one, do you want some? I hope you're ready.
All right.
No, but my brother and I want to get a Viome test done where they test your poop, man. It's like they test your crap. Right? And they find out what specific allergies you have. Again, going back to how unique and specific it is to individual. A lot of people are doing it.
Viome test.
Yeah.
Some guy's backyard in Bankstown.
Yeah. I put on my lab coat.
I'm a doctor. Yeah. Go in this room. Is that a video?
He's just sniffing everything. Then he sells it, mate. It's frozen yogurt. What?
Have you seen the movie The Human Centipede?
No.
Can you review that next week?
Oh my gosh, sounds amazing, mate. Can I start watching it
classic.
now? The Human Centipede. I'll write that one down, or not. No, but it's a volume test, and you test what your body responds well to and what it doesn't respond well to. I'm definitely going to try it out. I think it's $200 Aussie each one. If you get it done from an American company, it's 400 here. They send you the package, and you have to do the thing and send it back to them.
You can do that.
It lasts a month in this liquid, and they test for like what might affect my brother and what might work well for my brother might not affect me and might not work well for me. So again, it's very unique to every individual. So we need to do the research, guys, find out what works for you. But volume test is something to look into. There's certain doctors that can help you maybe pinpoint foods that are good for you or not. Again, doing like this meat diet that you've started today, right?
Yeah.
Yep, and I'm thinking about doing it. My brother is thinking about doing it.
I'll try
maybe within the next few days. Yeah,
see what happens.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind trying it for a week or two and seeing if I see results, positive results.
Seems pretty easy to do. Like
hearing a lot of great things, like Jordan
steak.
Peterson. I mean, yeah, it sounds pretty easy. I love my smoothies though, so that's going to be tough to be off
permanently.
No, but you have to be off all fruits and veggies, and it's basically meat. Some people don't even have chicken or fish.
Yeah, they just have the red meat.
Yeah, Jordan Peterson just has red meat. Yeah, you need to have fats though, right, to have the energy as well.
60% fat is the general consensus from what I read.
Really? Okay.
So 6% fat.
That guy on your Instagram
protein.
that we were writing about, I mean, he's been writing actually, and he was answering some questions.
Did you see what shape he was in? I didn't know he was a carnivore. I just saw
he's in great shape.
I think I know him somehow. But
it's like a health coach or something.
Shape,
he was saying he has like 600 grams of lean meat, 200 grams of fat. So he's doing and organs is part of the 600 grams. So he's doing the 25%.
Okay.
But I can imagine you need a bit of the fat. But like Joe Rogan did it for a month. He had great results.
12 pounds or something like that.
Yeah, lost his body fat on his gut. That guy on your Instagram was saying 8 months, no bloating, no gas, or amazing. Little to no. Like, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's so much I've written here. I don't know if I should maybe bring this up.
Do you want to bring it up in the next episode?
In the next episode, we can continue a little bit more about that. And we can also talk about some foods to avoid, which are kind of agreed upon across the board.
Yeah.
Again, there's so many differing opinions from different people, but there are some major things that everyone agrees on. I want to talk a bit more about the microbiota and stuff like that and some other details and facts. I also want to bring up the lectins and the Grundy diet, which is the grain-free diet. I want to talk a little bit about that and some good healthy fats and food for the gut.
Okay,
so we can bring all that up. Again, this is such a deep topic. Hey, I think it deserves 2 episodes. So guys, please come back again for the next episode, episode 8. We'll continue on with that.
Cool.
Awesome.
Right. Rap school.
Listener question.
All right.
Yeah.
You ready? This is very relatable to what we just talked about.
What will it be?
Hey guys, Steve from Sydney. I've been considering a drastic change in my diet. Touche.
Okay.
For about 10 years, I've had a yearly goal of getting under 80 kilos, which is what I was in my early 20s when I was in my absolute best shape. I'm about 178 centimeters tall. Pretty built. So that's my height.
Yeah.
But each year I fail. I know you 2 guys are in quite good shape, and I wanted to ask your advice. I train 5 days a week, mostly weights. It's more my diet and snacking and binging that is the issue here. And what you guys thought about me trying the carnivore diet for 4 weeks and see what happens. Joe Rogan just did it, as we said, and lost 6 kilos and praised the benefits. I feel like it's a good challenge or perhaps a kickstart that I need. I weigh 88 kilos now, so I need to lose 8 kilos plus to hit my goal. Cheers, guys. Steve. So...
Well, that's very in line with what we've just talked about. And how old is he? Did he say?
Didn't
say his age.
He said
right?
he
was in his early 20s.
Early 20s was in his best shape, and he's been trying every year to get down to that weight and doesn't. So,
well, age doesn't really matter.
Yeah, it seems to me like a kickstart is. I mean, that's why I want to do it as well.
For weight loss.
Weight loss as a challenge, but as a kickstart. Something that's why I find, changing your diet not drastically doesn't lend itself to great results. I know that sounds counterintuitive. If you're just
changing it slightly,
it's like, I'm just going to eat.
It's got to be
drop
drastic
by 500 calories a week or something like that. What I like to do is have a drastic change, drop a few kilos quickly, and then you feel like you're on a roll, and then you can try and mitigate that loss as you go on. Like then kind of add in some more things, and that's where I'm trying the carnivore diet as well. It's like I I know it's going to work
Yep.
initially, and then I can slowly add things back in.
Yep.
So for him, if he
So
wants
what
to
would you
lose
say
8
then?
kilos,
Yeah, what's
that's
your
pretty.
answer to this? Because I've usually I've dieted usually to try and put on size, and or more so for just health benefits and fighting autoimmune and wanting to be clearer minded and you know, I know that I'm very sensitive to food. Some can really make me depressed or just really wreck my
give this a
guts.
go.
So yeah,
I'd be really keen to see someone with an autoimmune.
that's why
disorder.
I'm like you say, you know, you're more so part of why you want to do it is to lose weight.
Yeah, but also like I get
to see the
I
benefits
get
too,
upset
right?
stomach all
Yeah.
the time, depending
Yeah.
on what I eat. And I, you know, like on the weekend, I binged and had a thick shake and had some ice cream.
Yeah, I had ice
burgers.
cream too. I had
And
some
man,
gelato.
Yeah,
Yeah,
You
and-
I enjoy it.
And Rogan
for the
says he does
first
that
hour,
too.
for the
Obviously,
first
most
10
people do.
minutes.
Yeah.
And then
And you do
I
as you
just
do.
felt terrible.
Then
the
you
next
feel-
day,
yeah.
I felt shocking. It's like,
For a
why am I
moment
doing
of
this?
pleasure in the mouth.
Yeah.
Hey,
It's
and then
very-
you
they
hours
always
of,
use that with KFC, right?
Yeah.
So if you get KFC, I don't know if you've had it. You probably haven't had it for a
I've
while.
had it in many,
All right.
many years. Yeah.
So it's for me, it smells great.
Yeah,
I'm
it
like,
does.
For the first 2 or 3 bites, I'm like, man, this was a great decision. And then quickly, it really changes. And then it's
Yes.
like, this is instant, this is regret. But I keep going because I've got the KFC there. And then
Yeah.
I'm just shocking. If I eat it at
Get
night
the
time,
bucket in here, mate.
and I have to have a litre bottle of water next to me.
Wow.
Because through the night, I'm
Oh,
just parched.
yeah, big time.
And just feel
because there's
sick.
not much salt on that, right?
No, just like a bucket.
Just a little sprinkle,
know?
mate. Yeah, just a bucket of salt.
Anyway.
Mate, do you have to recycle the bucket later that night, mate?
The salt bucket.
To puke in it, or
That's happened
Or both
a couple of
ways,
times,
mate.
actually. Oh, Jesus, Joe. I'll
Gosh.
save it next
You
time.
gotta
for you,
recycle,
mate, so you can
buddy.
test it in your
Gotta-
little,
yes, I can
your
do my
little
biome test.
Biome
yeah, mate. I'll send that back to the US.
to the US, yeah.
How this?
That'll get you blacklisted.
How's this for the
Like
what's
Trump.
his name again? The Colonel, mate.
Colonel Sanders.
Send the bucket to the Colonel.
Anyway.
Yes.
Buckets
Anyways,
sideways.
let's.
I'm no doctor, clearly. However, don't take my advice. But I'd probably give it a go. Obviously, I'm going to say give
I would
it a go 'cause
encourage him
I'm
to try
doing
it. I'm going
I've
to do
got
it.
Similar circumstances.
Yep.
Well, I mean, check with your doctor,
Yep.
you know, or not. But
Make sure you're having. Who was saying this? I believe it was Jordan Peterson or and Joe Rogan, or maybe it could have been someone else I was listening and reading about. They stress the importance of making sure you keep up your sodium and your potassium.
salts.
Yeah, your
So even the
salts.
guy on Instagram, he was using Celtic sea salt.
That's right.
with his
exactly.
water, so you
because
make
you're not
sure-
going to get a lot of the
Minerals,
the minerals you need on
Yeah.
the meat diet. So you got to make,
Yeah.
and that's important for heart health as well.
Yeah.
So yes, you got to make sure you supplement right too.
Yeah.
Mainly
So
the minerals.
minerals. So he wants to try it for 4 weeks and see what happens. I don't see there's anything wrong. Like try it for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, at least a couple of
Touch
weeks.
wood,
I
you're
might
not gonna-
try a
not
couple
gonna-
of weeks.
what's
Yeah,
what gonna
it
happen?
shouldn't kill you.
And then maybe you'll be feeling fantastic. You know, I'll go another 2 weeks. And then
Then, yeah.
see after 4 weeks how you feel.
yeah, and then what you can bring back.
Yeah.
trial
Then-
and error.
Yeah. If
I
you want to
would-
bring back, tomato or whatever.
I would recommend not bringing back all the foods at
one
once
thing at a
again.
time,
Yeah, I
yeah.
would just slowly bring things back
Which
and
is what-
see what works and what doesn't.
That's what Jordan Peterson's daughter did with her disorder. She just cut everything back, kept cutting it back. Your carnivore diet wasn't a thing. And then eventually she was just at meat. And then she stopped having reactions to everything. And then she
Yeah.
tried to add in some vegetables or something.
This-
and then she had a reaction. It's like, all right, don't
Yeah,
have that.
the scary thing is though, when you're eliminating food like that and your guts get used to just
Yeah.
say having meat, when you do bring things back,
Yeah, yeah.
what may have caused a slight reaction
Now causes
before
a
now
major one.
causes an even major reaction
That's the
because
catch-22,
you
yeah.
become more sensitive.
Yeah.
So again, that's why we stress bring things in slowly.
Yeah.
Like Jordan Peterson said, he got wiped out for a month because of apple cider.
Oh, I heard that. Yeah.
No, that's Joe Rogan was mind blown.
Yeah.
So was I listening to it. But yeah, so you got to be careful. But
Yeah.
and also he said he goes to the gym 5 days a week, so he's going to the gym enough. But he's just doing weights, so maybe I would recommend also maybe 10 minutes cardio even at the end. It's going to add something extra. I know it's boring, like doing cross trainer or something, but or maybe add a 10-minute high intensity interval training routine, man. Just pick 3 or 4 little workouts stations.
a little bit, yeah.
Yep, and go from one to the other, to the other, to the other, without any rest. Once you do all 4, rest a minute, do them again. Rest a minute, do them again, and then do that, and like you'll be done in like 10 minutes. And if you're doing like squats and then like I don't know, burpees, and then going to like I don't know, curls and press, and then doing the sleds or ball slams or something like that, man, you're tired. You're tired at the end of that. You could do 3 or 4 or 5 different workouts, and just rest once you get everything done, but only like a minute, and then do it again, a minute rest, do it again, and you'll be sweating. It's a high intensity kind of cardio workout. It's a lot more entertaining than being you know on the treadmill.
Unless you're watching a movie or something.
Unless you're watching or listening to a
Netflix
podcast.
on,
Maybe listen to this podcast and hop on the treadmill for 20 minutes, mate.
And you'll fall asleep and break your ankle.
No, you'll learn about gut health.
So wrapping it up. I reckon, do it for
Try
4
it out,
weeks.
bud.
See what happens.
And maybe add
Let
the
us know.
cardio and the high intensity into the workouts.
Yeah.
Cool.
Awesome.
Good luck, buddy. I'd like to hear how he goes.
Yeah.
With that. Awesome.
All right, let's wrap it up with some boom moments.
Boom
What do we got
moments.
first?
Our mindset positivity moments. Awesome. Alrighty, guys.
You getting the buns ready or something?
Oh, yeah. Wait,
Get
I
that
should.
shit out of here.
Ready?
Go.
One of these days is none of these days. That's awesome.
You kind of killed it there. Who's Rick
No,
Warren?
Rick Warren is a pastor in California. From
pastor? Is he fettuccine?
yes, that's right. He's a Christian pastor from what's his church's name again? Gosh, I've gone blank. Rick Warren.
Check your Bible app.
Oh my God,
Rick Warren sounds like a race car driver.
Yeah, he does.
Rick does.
Rick
Warren
Warren
doesn't. He's got 2 first
He's
names.
great, man. He's been through some things in life, but stays faithful and hopeful, and gives away a lot of money. He wrote the book, The Purpose-Driven Life, which is like a bestseller.
Yeah.
Sold so much. He says one of these days
I get it.
is none of these days.
So if you're saying...
get to it. Put a plan in order now and get to things now. If it can be done now, then get to it, guys. Stop waiting for ideal situations and procrastinating. Very rarely will you ever feel totally ready. So yes, guys, I encourage you, get to things as soon as you can do them, man. If you can do them now, just do them. You're not going to feel totally ready. It's okay to plan and prepare a little bit, but eventually you got to take action. So it's just saying one of these days ends up being none of these days. Boom.
Boom.
Boom. All right. What have you got?
I've got
Roger.
In the theme of Kobe Bryant.
Awesome, man.
One
Let's
of his
round it out
great
with
quotes
Cobes.
that I heard. I believe he was at the Staples Center, I believe, saying this to the audience and to his children as well.
Yeah. Is this his retirement speech when he retired, when he finished up, eh?
Those times when you get up early and you work hard. Those times when you stay up late and you work hard. Those times when you don't feel like working. You're too tired. You don't want to push yourself, but you do it anyway. That is actually the dream. That's the dream. It's not the destination. It's the journey. And if you guys can understand that, what you'll see happen is that you won't accomplish your dreams. Your dreams won't come true, but something greater will. And if you guys can understand that, then I'm doing my job as a father.
Wow. That's awesome. Boom, mate. Thank you, Kobe. Thanks for everything, buddy. Love you, man. Thanks, guys, for listening.
On that note.
Yes, episode 7, right? Rounding out.
Should we, I don't know what to say. It's a nice moment. But
it's a nice moment, mate.
It's up on Instagram.
Yep.
Roger and Pace. Obviously on YouTube, Roger and Pace as well. rogerandpace@gmail.com.
Yep. If you have any questions, any listener questions, doesn't have to be dating related. It could be about diet, nutrition, career, and we'll do our best to answer.
If you have any feedback on the volume test,
yes,
please send it through.
Yes. So I know. So I know about these things. But also, please, if you've enjoyed the episode or enjoying any of the episodes, do us a massive favor and share it to your friends.
Give us a rating.
Give us a rating. Well. Ratings are great. Comment. But mainly, if you could share it with friends, family, whoever you think will benefit. We'd greatly appreciate that. Subscribe to the podcast channel or the YouTube channel. We do our best every week, right, to prepare for these episodes and do our own research and study to give you guys something to take away. So share it, guys. The more people we can impact, the better. But again, we want to just round it out. Let's give our love to Kobe. Yep. Thank you for everything, Cobes. We love you, bro. And man, not forgotten, man. Boom.
See you one day. See you guys.